She is one of the greatest Olympians, great Canadian, Hockey Hall of Famer, gold medalist like a bajillion times over, Hayley Wickenheiser, as we look at some pictures of her in her usual, or the one that we most often associate with her. But what you may not know is Hayley Wickenheiser is on her way to becoming an ER doctor. And so what is happening with coronavirus has really struck a chord for her and her friends and her fellow students and the people in her healthcare community. So she's been rallying Canadians to donate PPE. It started with a tweet. Let me just begin where this all began, with Hayley's going on social media, talking about the desperate pleas that she's hearing from her friends in Toronto, and asking for donations of PPE, masks, gloves, gowns, etc. Well, you may have seen that. And then she goes on to talk about that she will distribute them and share them around. But Canadians have picked on that, including very famous Canadians, because take a look at somebody who jumped on this story. It is none other than Ryan Reynolds. So he says, read Hayley's message. And then he went on to sweeten the deal, if I can put it that way, and offered bonuses to his fans if they would donate. Well, that got us wondering where this has all gone. So Hayley Wickenheiser is with me from Toronto this morning, and let's say a quick good morning. I'm so glad to see you on this. Hi, Hayley.
Hi, Heather.
What a story that you're telling Canadians and sharing with Canadians this morning.
Yeah, it's been a crazy few days. You know, for myself, over the last few months, just being in emergency rooms across the GTA and getting to work with many of the docs and nurses and staff that are managing this crisis on the front lines. I got, you know, a front seat to everything, and hearing from my friends about what has been going on and the shortage of PPE that we have here. Just decided to throw that out to the universe. And then shortly, a few minutes later, Ryan texted me and said, would you like me to amplify that? And I knew what was going to happen after that. So we had 700 emails within 12 hours and people from all over the world that have stepped up to donate some PPE.
700 emails in 12 hours. That is the power of celebrity. Is that what you expect? You said you knew it was going to happen, but is that the kind of number that you were expecting?
Yeah, I knew that with Ryan, I think 35 million followers or whatever Ryan has, I knew that it was going to probably blow up here. And so it's been much bigger than he or I could ever manage. And so we've teamed up with a group in Toronto called Conquer COVID-19, and a website is conquercovid19.ca. And if you're a healthcare provider, a doctor, a hospital, a care home, and you need supplies, you can go on the website and sign up. Or if you want to donate supplies, you can go on the website to donate. And every Saturday moving forward between 9 and 5 p.m. at XYZ Storage in Toronto, you can drive up and drop your PPE. So masks, gloves, sanitizing wipes, baby monitors, anything that will help our frontline workers. And we are distributing it as best we can throughout Ontario and Quebec right now, where the needs are the most in Canada at the moment.
It's been incredible to see the kind of response from people who have been taking the very, very dramatic cries for help from people on the front lines, and then either making the PPE or finding ways to bring it in and distribute it as you are doing. I don't know if you heard the tape that we've been playing all morning, because Ryan Reynolds went to high school with one of our employees, one of our colleagues at CBC Vancouver, Amy O'Brien, and he agreed to do an interview with his former high school pal. So I'm going to play a little clip for you when he talks about you and why he decided to join in with you. So let's listen to that together.
You got people all over the world that are shipping medical supplies to Canada right now, you know, and they're hard to find. I think the last time I checked, there was something like a 5 or 6 day supply left of important PPE that, you know, health practitioners had, and they were about to run out, and that was going to cost lives. And it's just completely overwhelming. It makes you want to cry. I mean, the way the Canadian community has circled the wagons around this issue is something that I just think is endlessly inspiring. And she's just kind of one of those everyday superheroes. You know, she's one of those people that always finds, you know, she's always standing up for the right thing at the right time with all of every cell in her body. So, you know, she's a born leader. I just did everything I could to amplify her message and help her. But I assure you, she's the one that's out there on the front lines and meeting people in an almost kind of clandestine way and parking
So there you go. We played a bunch of it. It was a great long interview, but a nice shout out to Canadians for the Canadian response, but to you as a leader behind that. Are you pals? Like, do you know him?
Yeah, we've been friends for a number of years. You know, Ryan and I got inducted at the Canada's Walk of Fame at the same year, and I brought my little friend Grace Bowen, who was 9 at the time, but since passed away of osteosarcoma. And I think it was actually Grace that inspired Ryan to get involved with what he does with Sick Kids Hospital here in the foundation, and just what he's done for charities, sick kids across Canada. So we remained friends ever since that night, to be honest, and we stay in touch. And you know, we've been in touch through the days with this. And you know, he texted me yesterday and said, you know, can we just do this forever? I'm so proud to be a Canadian. And it's been a fun response, and I just can't thank all the people enough on the ground. We got medical students from U of T, we've got business entrepreneurs all over the country, like people that are just everyday Canadians that are stepping up to help, and that's what we need right now in this crisis. So
I'm interested in what this crisis has done in terms of your own reflection, moving into emergency room medicine and choosing a path in medicine as a doctor. Has it dissuaded you? Has it frightened you? Has it increased your desire to help in this way? What has the personal impact been on you?
Oh, no, it's just strengthened why I decided to go into medicine in the first place. I wish I was further ahead in my training so I could be more useful out there and doing a little bit more. But yesterday I dropped a truckload of supplies off to a couple of ICU docs here in Toronto. And we just stood around in their backyard for an hour talking about what they're seeing from a medical standpoint. And, you know, it's such an impact. And I was on a team, I was on Team Canada, you know, our national hockey team for 23 years. And now I feel like I'm on a 37 million strong Team Canada. But these people that I have worked with for the last number of years, really, since I started medicine, I just see like it's a special person that goes into healthcare to want to help someone else and put their lives at risk. And I have many of my friends across the country now, they go to work and they're super exposed, and they come home and try not to bring it to their families. So I love it. It's probably filling that adrenaline void that I lost leaving hockey a little bit. And there is never a dull moment in the emergency room.
And thank you for that reminder of the importance of getting this equipment to the healthcare workers who are indeed putting themselves and their families in harm's way to help us all at this time of crisis. I was going to ask you about the very aspect of team, because a team is only as successful when everybody plays his or her part in that team. So we keep getting the message about in this together. Stay home, protect each other, do your part in the team that is the Canadian team, as you just referred to it. What might your message be to Canadians this morning, Hayley?
Well, from what I know about the disease and in speaking to the docs, you know, there's really no known treatment that is working, or that they know there's no magic pill for this. The only thing that we know is physical distancing works from history. And so what I would say to people is, you may be going crazy, it may be hard to stay at home, but we're all in the comfort of our own home, and you are saving lives by staying at home with your family and your loved ones. To go out there and put yourself at risk is one thing, but to put others at risk is another. So I just can't emphasize enough. You know, it may feel strange that, you know, I'm not having an impact, but every person that distances and stays at home is probably 3 people that you're not infecting if you were to be out there and you didn't know it, that you had symptoms. So I just can't emphasize it enough. The more we stay home, the faster we're going to get back to work, to get our economy going again, and to get back to regular life.
Hayley, thank you. Captain of
Thanks,
this
Heather.
new team, and really appreciate your thoughts and perspective and inspiration. Thanks a lot, Hayley Wickenheiser in Toronto this morning.